Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, the honorable judges. My name is Fahmi Ahnaf Naufal, representing Hang Tuah 5 Senior High School, Sidoarjo. Today, I stand here to support the motion. This House would give social service and skill training for gambling offenders rather than imprisonment. I believe strongly in this motion because I see rehabilitation as far more effective than punishment and addressing gambling-related offenses. First of all, I want to emphasize that gambling addiction is not only a legal issue, but also a physiological and social disorder. The World Health Organization recognizes gambling disorder as a behavioral addiction just like alcohol and drug addiction. This showed me that offenders don't just need punishment, they need guidance, treatment, and opportunities to change. If we simply imprison them, we are only removing them temporarily from society without solving the real problem. I believe that once released, many will simply return to gambling because the root cause was never addressed. That is why I support social service skill training as better alternative. Based on 2023 UNODC report, rehabilitation programs such as counseling and vocational training reduce reoffending rates far more effectively than imprisonment. Reoffenders learn useful skills like entrepreneurship, carpentry, and digital literacy. They gain real options to survive financially without relying on gambling. To me, this gives them a genuine second chance to start over. I also see imprisonment as making matters worse. Prisons are overcrowded, expensive, and often make reintegration to society harder. From what I've read in Compass 2024, former inmates in Indonesia face discrimination and struggle to find jobs after release. If our goal is to stop repeat offenses, then I believe prison is clearly not the answer. In contrast, social service allows offenders to give back to the community, whether through public cleaning, helping schools, or other meaningful activities. This doesn't excuse their action, it holds them accountable in a constructive way. Another point I want to make is about cost and efficiency. Imprisoning them, people drains taxpayers' money, while skill training programs are cheaper and actually create long-term benefits. If offenders become skilled workers, they can support their families and contribute back to society instead of being a financial burden. The opposition might say prisons act as a deterrent, but from what I've learned, addiction doesn't work that way. Someone addicted to gambling is not thinking rationally about prison sentences. Addiction overrides fear. What really works is rehabilitation, structured training, and consistent support. For example, Singapore's National Council on Problem Gambling has reported that relapse rates are lower among offenders who go through treatment and training compared to those who sent to prison. Finally, I want to highlight the bigger picture. For me, this debate is not just about punishment. It's about what kind of society we want to create. Do we want a society that punishes endlessly without solving anything, or a society that believes in second chances? I believe we should give offenders a chance to rebuild their lives. Social service makes them repay society, and skill training equips them to never fall back into gambling. This benefits not just the offenders, but also our communities and our country as a whole. That is why I proudly support this motion. Giving a social service and skill training to gambling offenders is not being soft. It is being smart, effective, and compassionate. It reduces crime, saves resources, and gives people the chance to truly change. Thank you for listening to my argument. That is all from me. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.